Okay, we're going to start the October 7th meeting. We'll have the invocation led by Mr. Hart, Pledge of Allegiance led by Commissioner Wilson, and then we'll have the roll call. Everybody, please stand.
Eternal, most precious Father, we thank you through your abundant grace and mercy. You've allowed us to come together to conduct the city's business. And Father, we pray that you help us to come in with a spirit of unity. Even though we may disagree, let us not disrespect or disengage from one another. We continue to work together as brothers and sisters. We pray a special prayer of our first responders. Keep them safe. Be with them on every call. Watch over them as we watch over you, they watch over us. We're so careful to give you the praise, the honor, and the glory you do. In your Son Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Commissioner Kennedy?
Here.
Commissioner Wilson?
Here.
Mayor Johnson?
Here?
Commissioner Firstner?
Here.
Commissioner Oliver?
Here.
Okay, we have presentations. I want to hold off on the first one to the, we're waiting on another gentleman. Where did the other guy? Oh, so let me know when he walks in, okay? All right. Fire Prevention Month proclamation. Do I have that up here?
Yeah, you have it. This is the framed one,
Oh, okay.
but the one that you read is here in
Where?
large font.
Get up there and look at it early enough. Thank you, ma'am. How many more I got there?
That's it, just the two.
All right, I'm going to read this proclamation. Whereas the city of Ocoee is committed to ensuring the safety and security of all those living in and visiting our city, and whereas fire is a serious public safety concern both locally and nationally, and homes are the locations where people are at the greatest risk from fire, and whereas most of the electronics used in homes daily, including smartphones, tablets, laptops, power tools, e-bikes, e-scooters, and toys, are powered by lithium-ion batteries, which, if misused, damaged, or improperly charged, can overheat, start a fire, or explode. And whereas the National Fire Protection Association reports an increase in battery-related fires, underscoring the need for public education on the safe use of lithium-ion batteries. And whereas residents should follow these three key calls to action: buy only listed products, charge batteries safely, and recycle them responsibly to prevent battery-related fires. And whereas lithium-ion batteries store a large amount of energy in a small space, and improper use such as overcharging, using off-brand chargers without safety certification, or exposing batteries to damage can result in fire or explosion. And whereas the proper disposal and recycling of the lithium batteries help prevent environmental hazards and reduce fire risks in the home and community. And whereas residents who have planned and practiced a home fire escape plan are more prepared and will therefore be more likely to survive a fire. And whereas working smoke alarms cut the risk of dying in reported homes fires almost in half. And whereas the city of Ocoee's first responders are dedicated to reducing the occurrence of home fires and home fire injuries through prevention and protection education. And whereas October is the Fire Prevention Month, we find it appropriate to recognize all that Ocoee Fire Department does to protect our community, both now and throughout its illustrious history in the city of Ocoee. And whereas the 2025 Fire Prevention Month theme, Charge into Fire Safety, lithium batteries in your home, serves to remind us of the importance of using, charging, and recycling lithium batteries safely to reduce the risk of fires in homes and communities. Now, therefore, the City Commission of the City of Ocoee does hereby proclaim October 2025 as Fire Prevention Month. In witness thereof, I have hereunto set my hand and caused the city of seal to be affixed the 7th day of October 2025. Rusty Johnson, Mayor. Chief? I'm going to hand it to you, let you get up front and get a good picture made there. Thank you.
And Sparky.
And double X's, Chief. Name off who you got with you, Chief.
All right, we got our Inspector Jillian Waldron,
Thank you.
Hang out with the National Night Out here.
Oh, yeah.
She's there.
Thank you.
Don't sit down without your chair behind you.
Yeah. Ooh.
I think the person over
All right. I have a proclamation here for the Purple Heart City. If all of you doesn't know what Purple Heart, everybody here know what Purple Heart means? Knows? Good. That's good. So I'm going to read this proclamation off, and we got a couple of gentlemen sitting back there. We'll call you up here in just a second, okay? I'm going to read this proclamation. The city of Ocoee has great admiration and the utmost gratitude for all the men and women who have selflessly served their country and this community in the armed forces. And whereas the Purple Heart was the first American Service Award of Decoration made available to the common soldier and specifically awarded to members of the United States Armed Forces who have been wounded or paid the ultimate sacrifice in combat with a declared enemy of the United States of America. And whereas the mission of the Military Order of the Purple Heart is to foster an environment of goodwill among combat wounded veteran members and their families, promote patriotism, support legislative initiatives, and most importantly, make sure we never forget. And whereas Ocoee appreciates the sacrifice of Purple Heart recipients made in defending our freedoms and believe it is important to acknowledge them for their courage and show that the honor and support they have earned. And whereas the city of Ocoee has always cordially and warmly welcomed veterans of the armed forces into its community. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Commission of the City of Ocoee does hereby declare the City of Ocoee as a Purple Heart City, and encourages all citizens of the City of Ocoee to show heartfelt appreciation for the sacrifices made by Purple Heart recipients and to honor the selfless acts they have made in defense of our freedom. I'm going to come down front. Mr. Sparrow and Mr. Barnes, you want to come up front? I got to find my other note here. Whoops. Sorry about that. I want you to come up and speak at whichever one is going to speak with the plaque. And then we'll get pictures and I will read off some stuff.
All right. Thank you.
Good, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Good evening, everyone. Can everyone hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
So my name is Lou Barnes. I am the commander for the Department of Florida, also a member of Chapter 400. We have the responsibility for all Purple Heart recipients in the state of Florida. Chapter 400, we have Orange County, Osceola, and Seminole County. And as was stated in the proclamation, our goal is to support combat wounded veterans and their families, as well as veterans and their families. And we do that through contributions, donations given to us, and we give back to the community. But I am so thankful to be here to have this opportunity to present to the city of Ocoee. And I just want to read this plaque. It says, the Military Order of Purple Heart Special Recognition Award is bestowed upon the city of Ocoee, Florida, for your dedication and support honoring American combat wounded veterans becoming a Purple Heart City. Now, I like to just add, for us, that's a big deal because I served 26 and a half years in the United States Army, and I wasn't a Vietnam veteran, but I served in the first Gulf War in Iraq and Afghanistan. And just like some of our Vietnam veterans came back, they didn't recognize us for our efforts. But I just want to say thank you for the city of Ocoee for what you do and recognize veterans as well as Purple Heart recipients. Thank you very much.
we go step up front here, and I want to read off a couple things and let them come up and stand over while we do it. So we'll get everybody in a few minutes. We'll take pictures up here, so we'll get this done. This is your proclamation, so we'll get a picture made with it up front up here. I want to read off a couple things. First of all, any of you here Purple Heart recipients? Anybody else? All right, take a couple minutes section here. I want to name off a couple people. This one is Bill Maxwell. Everybody knows Bill Maxwell? Mm-hmm. If you don't, come to a meeting one time when he's talking, you'll remember. Bill, I'm gonna tell you real quick about Bill. I've gotten to know Bill in the last few years in Ocoee. He came out of, I think, Selma, Alabama, went into the Army as an enlisted man, went to Vietnam. I don't know if he got the Purple Heart when he was in Vietnam the first time as an enlisted man, or when he went back. Come back, got his college education, went back as a helicopter pilot, and served as a helicopter pilot. But he's got the Purple Heart here. It was, and if you don't know this, presentation, it was established by General George Washington in New York, August the 7th, 1782. Which is, Bill's a super guy, come back, the military come back to living, and he ended up marrying a local lady here in Ocoee, and he has been real active in all the things in our city in the last 20 years I've been around, and 30 years, he's been active. He stays active and keeps being active. So it's really an honor to know Bill. Like I said, he ended up being a major too. He ended up retiring out as a major. The other one here, and I'm really extra proud of this because this was my father-in-law. He grew up in Ocoee. He went off in the Army. The Army took him up. He was in New Jersey. He got called over to move over to the Army Air Force because it was in the paper here a couple weeks ago that the Orange Observer had different things. When you see the different 20 years ago, 30 years ago, 80 years ago, well, 80 years ago, him and three other guys, some guy taught him how to fly here in Ocoee. Now, this is back 80 years ago. So when he got up there, they figured out he could fly, so they moved him over to the Army Air Corps. But this is his medals. He got Distinguished Flying Cross. He's got the Purple Heart. But I'll tell you a real story here. He flew 6 runs. Everybody heard of the Normandy invasion? Yep. He flew 6 runs, landing on D-Day, on the landing of the Normandy, D-Day, giving support to ground forces on the beach. Flew 69 more runs over Germany before being shot at. Now, he was shot down, and I think that's where he got the Purple Heart, but he also was shot down in Belgium at the time. He lived for a month in the bottom of a cellar in Belgium, and those people got him out and got him back to the American lines. But what's really funny about that, my wife, Marilyn's sitting back here, her father, it was her father. He told me, he said, Rusty, he said, it was okay that I was in the cellar, and the only thing I had to drink was champagne. He said, I never want to see champagne in my life. He's another gentleman. Come back to Ocoee, this building right over here. He went back to the University of Florida, finished his degree, got a degree in pharmacy, came back here and run the drugstore at Ocoee for all those years, and then built the shop. Him and his 3 buddies who were all in the military came back. They built the first tract homes in Ocoee up on the hill. They also built the bank. They also built the first shopping center. So he came back, besides military service to his heart, he came back to the service of the city. And a lot of people, Edwin was one of those guys. When I was growing up, my father told me one time that Mr. Pounds, he would give people medicine that didn't have money. If they didn't have money, he didn't care. He let them have the medicine. And that's the kind of fellow he was. So he was a true Purple Heart gentleman. I just wanted to say that. So you guys come over, we'll take a few pictures of everybody else. If y'all want to come down here too, we can get on both sides. We'll get someone, but we'll squeeze in. I'll let you see. We'll let you see. Mark. Everybody kind of turn in. Yeah, hold it.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate
Hold
it.
it. I do. Oh, I have my phone. What did I do with my phone? What I did with my phone, is it over there? Right here. Is it up here? Underneath that.
Yes.
Sorry about that.
You get it set up ready for me.
Yeah.
Selfie on that, okay? More.
Before everybody steps up, I want to make a quick comment. Step out a little bit here. This gentleman here, Mr. Sparrow, was he was in the Navy. I never thought much about being in the Navy. I never seen the Navy when I was I know George, but I was in the Army. But I always thought about what the deal he did over there is what I would love to have done, but I didn't get to do that because I wasn't in the Navy. But Mr. Sparrow was on the, what you call those? PBRs. It was a boat that run up the rivers and down the rivers, in which folks was a dangerous business to be in. How long were you in Vietnam when you got with it?
3 months and 5 days.
3 months and 5 days, you blew the boat up they were on and killed the captain of the boat, you said. So give this guy a big hand too. All right, thank you guys, thank you very much. And we truly appreciate the Purple Heart designation for our city.
Yes, sir.
They're gonna try to put some parking things in places. That would be awesome. All right? You won't come back anytime.
Yes, sir. Excuse me.
Could you send me that information?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I'll pass along the royal copy.
Okay, update on Tiger Minor, Parks and Leisure Service Director Johnson. I have a couple of people I think want to talk on that too, so,
Debbie Gully, David Denmark,
yeah, so, go ahead. Huh?
Debbie Gully. Oh, no. David Denmark.
Yeah.
That is.
All right. You want me to go ahead and, why don't I let you got, Kim Drury? Come on up and speak, and then we'll let, Mr. Johnson over here. You, up here, man. Okay. You have, everybody has 3 minutes.
And Debbie Gully.
Okay.
Yeah.
Who?
Debbie
Yeah.
Gully.
Dave Dimmock.
Okay, thank you very much for allowing me to speak. My name is Kim Drury. I'm an avid pickleball player, and I'm an official ambassador for the U.S. Pickleball Association. I've been involved in developing rules and guidelines for courts in addition to consulting during the initial stages of building courts in Orange County. First, I want to commend the city and how wonderful Tiger Minor is as a public park. It is well-maintained and provides a variety of opportunities for people with outdoor interests. My interactions with city employees of the Parks and Leisure Services Department in maintaining the park has been pleasant. I'd also like to congratulate you on keeping a pulse on popular activities and building pickleball courts to keep up with the rapid growth of pickleball, not just locally, but nationwide. It appeals to a wide range of ages, skills, athleticism, and desire to participate. Youth and adults can play together and everyone have fun. It's great to see families out together, grandparents teaching grandkids, workmates playing and laughing, and competitors engaged in spirited games. All this is background to address the most popular times for court use are early mornings and evenings before and after people have to go to work or school or have other obligations. Use is maximized during those periods, and in the summer, the heat dictates early and late use. As a morning participant, Tiger Minor has become a community to me and my fellow pickleball players. We interact with the walkers, the dog owners and their dogs, the people bringing preschoolers to the park. We've given balls to kids and dogs to play with, have let kids and parents and grandparents join us on the courts. Some have altered their routines to come by when we're there. Hellos and smiles make the day better for all of us. Additionally, local businesses have benefited from the use of those courts, of the pickleball courts. We stop at local business before and after play when we otherwise wouldn't even be in the area. One group I play with has lunch every week in downtown Ocoee, and a shout out to Bike Life Cafe. Even if the weather doesn't permit play, we still go there for lunch, and we would have never known about it otherwise. Unfortunately, popularity comes with some consequences such as noise. I hope you'll consider options to allow the park and pickleball courts to be open the current hours into the future so everybody can get to enjoy your great facilities. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, very much. All right, Mr. Denmark. Did you say?
No, David Denmark.
Oh, I got him, yeah.
My name's Dave Denmark. I live in Prima Vista subdivision, which backs up to Tiger Minor Park. I've been there along with neighbors for 30 years. The park has a lot of entertainment, a lot of children, a lot of people come into the parks. And we didn't know about the new pickleball court that was being put in. We do have tennis courts over there that I think they have taken a couple of those tennis courts and made into pickleball courts. But we didn't know the pickleball court was going to be that close to the back of houses. It's approximately 70 feet from some of the houses. For me, I'm fairly lucky, but I can still hear the noise of people screaming and hollering. I know they get excited, and I'm not against pickleball. I played tennis all my life. I haven't been able to play pickleball. I got a bad knee. But the only thing that we were concerned about is the noise. And there are people there early in the morning. Sometimes they may not be playing pickleball, but they're still in the parking lot. And at night, when they leave, they're still in the parking lot. So there are people that come there. Some come to see and bring their children to see the playgrounds and the other people play. They've got a pavilion there, so it's a very, very nice park. But the only thing we're concerned about is what we could do with the noise. A lot of people, they're retired. They're right there behind the pickleball courts. They like to be able to sleep in a little bit in the morning. They'd like to be able to go to bed early at night without hearing I know the people get excited. I understand that. I can hear them. And I'm 5 houses down from the pickleball courts. But they're hollering and screaming and having a good time. And sometimes they get a little bit rowdy and they cuss and carry on. And there's some other people that are not or would not be welcome there. And I'm sure the pickleball players wouldn't welcome them there either. But I'm glad we brought this up. I understand we've got some more pickleball courts coming, and maybe we could consider having some more outdoor courts. As I was told, they like to play outdoors. And hopefully we can settle it somehow or another. But people do like to get sleep at night. You know, I don't go to sleep at 10 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock at night. I'm usually in bed around 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, so I can get rest. And in the morning, I get up around 7 or 8. So, and that's among all my neighbors. It's even the neighbors on the street over from the pickleball or from the houses that back up to the pickleball courts. The people on the other side of the street can hear them. And unfortunately, some of those people are a little older and they couldn't make it to the meeting. But I'm trying to represent some of those people in our neighborhood that are directly proportional to the park. So thank you very much.
All right,
Thank you, David.
Mark, come up. Explain what we've come up with since the last meeting.
Good evening, Mayor, Commissioners, City Manager. Last commission meeting, we had some citizens that expressed some concerns with the pickleball courts at Tiger Minor Park. And you asked staff to come back with some suggestions or some ideas of how to mitigate some noise. So I will start that PowerPoint right now. Last meeting, we had some concerns with, like David just was going over, patrons in the park a little late, maybe past the park hours. That shouldn't be there. Sometimes the lights on the courts, the current court that has lights, staying on too late. Now, that court is actually in the middle of the park where the lights are currently. So just to let you know where those lights are. The noise level from playing pickleball, early, like you just addressed, early in the morning and in the evening. We had some vandalism in the park because there's no gates, so people can, middle of the night. We do lock our bathrooms up, but if somebody wants to come and hang out in the park, at night, there's not a lot of light in the middle of the park. So, and as he addressed earlier, cars coming in and out from the I'd say the west side and the east side, coming and driving out through our parks. So, to address some of those concerns, I did a little research and looked at some other parks that are in neighboring cities. We can put gates at each entrance on each side. There's 2 entrances to that park. There's like an east or west. We have gates, and we can have our park staff open and close those gates in the morning and the evening. Park hours right now are 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. That's the hours they use the park. So right now, staff gets there and makes sure everything in the park's open. They don't have to open gates to get in. They drive in, open the bathrooms, open the tennis court, I call it tennis court, open the pickleball courts too. And when they get there, and our park ranger comes back in the evening and locks everything up. One recommendation would be to limit the pickleball only courts from 8 to 8. That gives people time to maybe sleep in. Usually people are heading to school or work by 8 o'clock. And 8 p.m. gives people time enough to enjoy their evening. I still wouldn't, the tennis courts that are currently there, we would still keep those open where the lights are, because that's in the middle of the park and the noise isn't as close to the neighboring houses. We can put our lights on a timer. I know he said sometimes the lights stay on, but we could control that with a timer, make sure they're off at a certain time. And I have a couple options to help out with the sound. The first option, there's the lighting. The lighting that we have budgeted for that park, for the current pickleball courts that don't have lights, it's not your normal lights on a pole. They're run along the top of the fence line on the top rail, and they light just the courts themselves, so the light doesn't go anywhere else except to the courts. Another way to help with sound, they have these boards that you can put up on the fence line, and it's been known to knock the decibel level in half to help out with the sound, so it doesn't travel to the neighboring houses. And also, you can line between the houses and the courts. You can also do some landscaping barriers that helps out. Also takes away from seeing the courts. Make it a little prettier for you when you're not looking at tennis courts. Those were a couple of the options. I am open to any questions, concerns.
All right, anybody out there, the 2 that spoke, do you have any questions you want to ask? Yeah, you have to come up. Can I speak? Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I feel like I need a step stool. My name's Andrea Jones. I live in Ocoee. I also play pickleball at Tiger Minor in the morning, and it's a phenomenal facility. We've been playing before you built the new courts. We were playing when you redesigned and refurbished so that we had an individual court, and we still play there. They like to separate us because we're not loud, but they just leave us alone. So I want to appreciate, I know this is a very difficult process because you're balancing local residents with an awful lot of people who love pickleball. And we're so grateful that the City Parks and Leisure Service Department, they've always been so helpful with us. They respond to us really quickly. They keep the parks beautiful and the courts in perfect condition. There are issues with some drug use and cars at night, that's separate than pickleball. And hopefully we're not lumped in together. The biggest problem with the time change, and I appreciate that this is just recommendations, because I was a little concerned when it was a PowerPoint that it was actually a done deal. But restricting play between 8 and 8, the majority of the people who work, we have to leave by 8:30. And a typical game lasts a couple of hours. There's not time to start a game and have it finish by 8 p.m. in order for people who work to then be able to enjoy these facilities. And also in the summer, it's just too hot to safely play for that amount of time outside of those, if you can't include those hours. And unfortunately, this really just limits people who work being able to play. I wish I was retired and I could play a little later. Unfortunately, I'm not. I already have a deal with my boss that twice a week I can start a little later and work a little later so that I can play. A lot of the people that come into Ocoee to play pickleball, they now buy their gas in Ocoee, they do their grocery shopping in Ocoee, they frequent restaurants in Ocoee that they normally wouldn't do. And I know this because that used to happen when I was doing the same thing over in Winter Garden. It is a few homeowners, and I understand that, and they bought their homes here, but it's an awful lot of pickleball players. The ultimate solution is to switch the pickleball courts currently with the tennis courts. There's some cost involved clearly, but we've had the tennis courts with the lights have been there over 20 years, according to Google Earth. And so many people maybe even moved in with those tennis courts there already. You could move the courts over there. We could actually maybe have a couple of extra courts. Tennis players generally start playing later. There's less of them. If you had 2 courts, there'd be a maximum of 8 people there at any given time. And then you would have less overall noise in general. It would be moved further away. It is a lot more money. I got 17 seconds. But as a permanent solution, please consider the math of doing that instead of shrubbery for a start. Thank you. That's all I have to say. I appreciate the recommendations.
All right, thank you. You need to fill out, take one of those forms and fill it out up there.
No, I did it already. You have it. You just didn't call me.
Where's it at?
Thank you.
Are you Jones?
Yes.
Well, it says switch grass.
Switchgrass Circle. It's a street in Ocoee. Did I put it on the wrong line?
No, I mean,
That's the address line, right?
I didn't understand it. I thought you were talking about, I think what I would ask for, we ask commissioners is, would 9 o'clock work? Because I mean, you can't, I mean, so we got to talk about it now up here. So would 9 o'clock work with the citizen, Mr. Denmark? I mean, I'm just asking. Yeah. Huh? The morning. So if we move that to 9 o'clock, then the morning we'd move it up. I mean, it's never going to be perfect, folks. I can tell you, it's not going to be perfect. So I don't know if we could switch to courts because their courts were made different. We had that pickleball court made specifically for pickleball, so I don't think we can be changing those.
I could assist with that, having been built,
All right. Any commissioners?
I'm gonna say
Real
something.
quick comments or anything? I know. I'll start with Commissioner Kennedy on that end.
Can I ask them a question? Is that allowed?
Yeah, but
I just want to know if 2 people are in your group. That's all I want, yes or no. Dan Denhoff and Steve Alcine, do you know them? Okay, thank you. So I have a problem with this, with taking this as a presentation. Because last meeting we had, and I know you claim to have 30 people, I'm not arguing that. But we had 2 or 3 residents who came and complained. And we asked for recommendations, which you brought. And then I got a couple emails. We have 2 more people. This should be on an agenda. I got emails from 2 people who begged, please don't stop opening it before 7 a.m. They're not here to plead because this isn't on an agenda. And I just think we do this a lot where somebody says something in public, 1 person comes or 2 people come and complain about something. I'm not saying the complaint's not legitimate, but what we're supposed to do is put it on an agenda and let everyone speak. And what I want to say is, I don't know if you all are aware of this, but we just made a man spend a year of his life re-engineering a pickleball facility to move it inside because 30 residents showed up and it was 800 feet away across a lake. And we said that was too loud. And I agreed with that. And I'm sorry, but I grew up playing tennis my whole life. Pickleball is about 5 times louder than tennis. And I know you're aware of that, and I respect both sides. But we live in a town of 55 to 60,000 people. And we can't make decisions, no offense to anybody, based on 5 or 6 people. This should be on an agenda. We should advertise it. We should solve it. Also, I don't know, some of these issues that you're having, Director Johnson, unrelated to pickleball, just seem like lack of control of the park. Are these consistent that parks aren't gated, have lights on after hours, don't have timers, or is this unique to just this one park?
No, I mean, there's not an issue. If the lights stay on, it could be something happened to the switch that it stayed on, or people in the park, our park ranger goes around till 11 o'clock. If there's somebody in the park, we always tell people, call PD if they're after hours. But that's just, they can't do anything except sit in the park at Tiger Minor.
Well,
But-
I'm not prepared to take I personally am not prepared to take an action,
All right.
but I've been begged by people to hear them out.
All right, here's the deal. It is on the agenda. Whether it be down here or whether it be up here, it is on the agenda, sir. And I just asked the legal advice, we can vote from that. It was publicized on the agenda this week.
As
So-
a presentation,
Yes, sir. It was still, that's a presentation of what the suggestions
but
are.
not to take action.
I'm not gonna get in a long debate about it, but it is on the agenda, so that's not true. It is on the agenda. Let me finish talking, Commissioner. It is not on the agenda. It is on the agenda. And I just talked to the gentleman here. It's a presentation of what we can do or not do, and they could have come and spoke to it. So so that part's there. So, all right, anybody else?
Yes.
Commissioner?
It is, Tiger Minor is in my district, and I understand it is an issue with the residents that live in Prima Vista, that the noise level is excessive. I don't know if a lot of them realized there was ever going to be a pickleball court there. It is close to homes. I appreciate the measures that you've suggested regarding a soundboard, the bushes, or some type of hedge that would come up against the fence to block some of the noise. I'm in favor of the 8 to 8. I think that's reasonable, locking. As long, and also if the lights are facing down where they're not going to cause any disturbance to any of the neighboring homes. I personally feel as though, we have a responsibility to maintain a, should I say, a healthy issue for our residents that live in that community. It's not healthy to have folks till 10 o'clock at night banging balls around. I'm sorry, I wouldn't want that in my backyard. And so, again, I'm in favor of the issues, should I say, what you have presented. I think they're fair, they're reasonable. It's not something we can't come back and look at later if we find it's unreasonable. But at the current time, I think for our residents that live in Prima Vista, it's an issue that they have been dealing with for probably the past year, and they just came forward to us. And I appreciate them coming forward to us because they're having issues. None of us would want a pickleball court in my backyard. You may like to play it, I understand, I'm not criticizing that by any means, but none of us would want that, nor would I want a basketball court in the property right behind me. I wouldn't want a tennis court right behind me. Those all create noise that are a disturbance to our, should I say, our health and safety within the community. So I'm in favor of this.
All right. Commissioner Forstner?
I support the department director's recommendations, and I think that you should pursue that in the budget for those sound mitigation efforts that you mentioned.
Commissioner Oliver?
The gentleman, you said you lived there for, what, 30 years? Did you?
I moved here
In
in '87.
87. Okay, so he's been there since 87, long before any of us ever heard of what pickleball was. Him and every resident there. So I would have to take that in consideration. When they moved there, no one knew what pickleball was. In 20 years from now, it'll be something else. But it's always going to be something that we have to deal with. So the thing that I'm getting at is that we're going to have to make some type of amicable and reasonable, I guess, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm sorry.
Decision?
Compromises when it comes to pickleball versus the noise, the light spillage, and the residents that's been there for 30-plus years. And again, pickleball, I haven't played pickleball, but that's actually on my bucket list to learn how to play pickleball and hopefully get good at it before my knees go out. But other than that, we have had projects go on in this city for years. And I remember when I first started running for office, one of the things I talked about is being able to have transparency with the citizens and being able to get their input in a lot of the projects that we put forth in the city. And we still have projects that go on without input. I commend the director here for bringing this to the commission and allowing the citizens to get involved and to hear your comments regarding pickleball and the excitement of pickleball and being able to enjoy yourself at one of our parks, as well as being able to hear what a resident has to say about how it may possibly disturb them as far as the noise or the lights, those kind of things. So with that being said, I think that since we're coming to a situation where we're compromising here, I think that he's compromising. He's not saying that I want you to just do away with it. He's willing to deal with the noise. He's willing to deal with some of the lights. But what I'm hearing is some of the issues that you deal with for us pickleball. I hear there's a lot of policing issues we got to deal with here. There's some of the things that you mentioned. There were people hanging out and those kind of things. But we, like you said, you don't want to tie that into pickleball at all. But I do understand that the compromise has to come from both sides. And I think it's reasonable to be able to have a lighting schedule that it will be comparable to the residents, but also allow people to play pickleball, maybe adjust some schedules or whatever it may take to go out and play for those 2 hours after work or before work. So I think that what we are proposing, the 8 to 8 or to 8:30 to 9:30, whatever we can come up with and slide that scale to make it reasonable, I support that. I support moving forward with the project. But the fact that we put projects on the board here that allow you to come up and have a comment about it and be able to be your voice to be heard, I think that's admirable. So hats off to you, Mark, for bringing that to us and allowing us to come up with some solutions for you guys. And again, I'm going to support the idea of some type of amicable solution to both sides. And I think that the 8 to 8 or the 8:30 to 8:30 or whatever that may be, I'm going to support that.
Thank you, Commissioner. I would like to say 9 o'clock, move it to 9 o'clock. You know, well, we can't, a lot of people come out early in the morning and play. I mean, ma'am, I know. It's not going to be perfect for everything. Ma'am, you can't, listen, hold it. The process is, we cannot speak from the audience. You have to come up to the podium if you're going to speak again, and we've already given everybody a chance to speak. So we'll be here all night if we keep going back and forth. So we've got to come up with what works for everybody. And so, I mean, yes, ma'am, you can't speak from, you're going to have to come up here to the podium and then fill out a form.
Thank you. My name is Rhonda Connect, and I live in Ocoee. I just have questions about the presentation. Am I allowed to ask questions?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what I'm trying to understand is, are you saying that the entire park is going to close and only be open from 8 a.m. until 8 p.m., and your proposal is that there will be gates? Because what I think I heard you say was that the tennis courts would still be open. So I'm trying to understand, does that mean that the tennis courts would be open all the time, but the pickleball courts and other places in the park will be 8 a.m. to 8 p.m.?
Just the pickleball court will be 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. I would still suggest leaving the other courts open, because they've never had anything in the past that has come to us that says that it was an issue with them being there. But the park will be 7 to 10. So we'll have gates open so people can come in and walk and use the restroom, whatever they got to do. But the actual pickleball court, the pickleball only courts would be 8 to 8 with this recommendation.
All right.
That was my question. Thank you.
That's all right. You're good.
Thank you.
All right, so do you want it to be 8 or 9?
I'd like it to be 8 to 8, and then we can
Okay.
always come back and, I mean, if we find that
Make a
it's
motion.
an issue, I'd make the motion. Do I need to read exactly what you got in your PowerPoint regarding the 8 to 8 with tennis being till 10, the lights?
They're
So-
automatically shut off on the
Okay, light
tennis
diffusion
courts,
is
right?
only
It would be,
courts along with soundboards and
Yeah.
some form of vegetation.
yep. So you want the pickleball only courts, 8 to 8.
8 to 8,
The park, 7 to 10. That's all.
with gates being,
The front gates being closed every night at 10 and open at 7 in the morning,
and then,
with some sound mitigation added to the pickleball only courts.
correct.
Okay, all right. You made the motion, right? I need a second.
I'll second that.
Second, motion made by Commissioner Wilson, seconded by Commissioner Oliver. Any more comments? Let's vote. Put that right in front of me. All right, motion carries with Commissioner Kennedy voting no. All right. Staff report. Thank you very much, folks. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor. I have a few items. Item number one, the site conditions due to the rain have deteriorated significantly, and so we will be making a determination tomorrow morning about whether we keep the groundbreaking on site for the Law Enforcement Training Center or move it to the Lakeshore Center. It's Thursday. We're making the decision tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because of the site conditions. It's very wet and spongy. The second thing I was going to mention to you is that we will be providing you a couple of memos tomorrow. One summarizing the history of the permit and interactions for the fiber optics hub located on Ohio Shores Road that Mr. Swisher came and spoke about at the last commission meeting. We've collected all the information. We'll be providing that to you. Christmas lights was mentioned at the last meeting. We have completed our testing of all outlets and provided the list of the ones that don't work to Duke Energy. They are working on them. The intent is to begin installation on November 10th. I'll be providing you a memo to that effect tomorrow as well. The next thing is the appropriations. We are working feverishly right now on submittal of appropriations to state legislature for this coming session. They're very water and sewer centric at this point. We are seeking hurricane resiliency money. We're also seeking some septic to sewer dollars, as well as reclaim dollars to help defer our expenses resulting from Orange County's new agreement. And we will be looking at putting a public safety appropriation request in. It's still in the definition stage, but we are working on that feverishly. The Ruis Street water line and sidewalk replacement project. Work's been completed with project closeout underway, and the next step is going to be resurfacing Ruis from North Lakewood to the east entrance to Central Park under the Public Works resurfacing program, and it should commence within a couple weeks. The last thing I have, I wanted to provide some clarification for item number 10 on the agenda. Most of you are well aware that we've been working to consolidate the zip codes from 5 zip codes that we have to the 1 zip code that everyone recognizes as Ocoee. Briefly, it does confer disadvantages to people that don't have the Ocoee zip code in some of the community, and We have gone through multiple appeals processes with the U.S. Postal Service, and we have, been to been to Congress with bills numerous times over the years. And this year, we have made it further than all the other years combined. It's passed the House. We're in Zip Code Unification Bill H.R. 672, and it's going before the Senate. So we are part of a coalition of cities that are part of this bill, and we've been working with them to have a more unified effort, and it's working. And the commission on May 5th authorized us to participate with the federal lobbyist that's representing the group, and the name of the company is Van Soyock and Associates. They are recommending a lobbying day in Washington, D.C., starting the evening of November 4th, going through November 6th. So we prepared item 10 on the agenda. You have the option of canceling that meeting because you had previously canceled the November 18th meeting. So you could cancel the November 4th meeting and reinstate the November 18th meeting. The other thing is the lobbyist is recommending that the commission send 2 elected officials and 1 staff member. 2 of you have been associated with this issue longer than the rest of you. That would be Rosemary and the mayor. But it's up to the commission to decide if you want to send a delegation to this meeting. The meeting would be with all the senators that represent the different cities and trying to, garnish support there. And you can choose who you want to send if you choose to do that. If you do that, I would recommend that you approve item number 10. And that's all I have.
Let me say something.
Go ahead.
Okay. If many folks may not understand this, but probably 17 years ago, Rose Hill was probably one of our communities that annexed into Ocoee as a community, Phase 2 and Phase 3, not realizing that they would not be able to change their address from Orlando 32818 to 34761. And it has caused them financial hardships, insurance rates, et cetera, has been increased. They've told me many times because of the zip code. And again, to unify them into the city of Ocoee, we've always been working very hard, and we've spent many hours on this for them to acquire the Ocoee zip code. So I would like to, as long as nothing happens, I'm just going to say that I think, again, myself and the mayor have been working on this the longest. I think we've both have been to Washington regarding this, dealt with folks from Tampa, et cetera, local post office with no resolve of the situation. And again, I think it's very important that we have never been this far. We have never gotten this far to be one of there was 50 cities, I think, mentioned on that, approximately, on that bill, and we're one of them. And I think it's very important that we represent ourselves in Washington at that point. So again, I would like to ask the commission, I would like to attend. I would personally I think you were right with the mayor also, because I think we've been working on this the longest. So that's my thoughts.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're available.
No, I'm available. We started that process years ago, and because it's a kind of you did say 5 zip codes, didn't you, Craig?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 different zip codes, and it does affect people's taxes and stuff like that. So, yeah, we went up there and met with the lawyers before, and we also tried to appease the post office with donations of money for that also. It didn't work. So, yeah, I would appreciate going, but is it okay with you?
No, I agree with that, yeah.
Yeah, I certainly agree.
Okay.
So, one of y'all.
Scott, you any problem?
Is that a motion, or I don't know what we're doing?
Do we need to make a motion in order to,
We got a staff report, he talked about item 10, and now we're doing.
You don't have to pick that now, but we need, if
We
you're
could,
going
if
to
it gets
send
out of
somebody, well, no, that's on the consent agenda.
All we do
So
is approve the consent agenda.
Yeah.
we're deciding if you want to send a delegation and then who you want to send. That's really,
That's not item 10, correct?
it is not item 10. That's why I brought that up under
Okay.
staff reports. Correct.
Perfect. I'm fine with that, you all going.
Do we need to vote on it, or do we need to consent it?
I think consent is fine.
All
It's
right.
not a proposition that would require, yeah.
Okay, everybody got okay with that? Okay. Everybody was consent, good. All right. Is that all your staff report?
Yes, sir.
All right. Public consent agenda. Need a motion for the consent agenda.
Can I just ask,
You got,
I'm probably going to have to get a second on asking just a question regarding item 10 before we consent. Is everyone, and my question would be, I'll state it before anyone agrees to back me on it. Is everyone agreeable to canceling the 17th meeting for the sake of the 4th meeting? I mean, is that?
18th.
Before we agree to it, how,
The 18th meeting, yeah.
the 18th, I'm sorry, the 18th meeting, is that going to be?
I
an
can't
issue
second,
for-
I can't.
No, but I'm going to ask to pull 10 for just, for a moment of discussion.
You second that?
I'll second that.
Look,
Okay, and I'm just stating what question I have. Is there anyone, before we do the consent agenda, does anyone have any problem with switching the, sorry, I'm going to
not
look here.
having the 5th.
Not having the 4th and going, and reinstating the 18th?
Nope.
Does that affect anyone's schedule?
That's
Okay, that's the only question I had.
No,
No.
no,
I'll make-
it'd
I'll
be
make a
covered in the
motion.
consent agenda.
Consent agenda
All right, motion made by Commissioner Wilson to approve this consent agenda.
as whole.
I'll second.
Seconded by Commissioner Kennedy. Any more comments? Not, let's vote. Motion carries unanimously. All right. First reading of ordinance, none. Second reading of ordinance, none. Public hearing, none. Regular agenda, none. Comments from commissioners, none. Oh, no. No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna read off these little things here first, then we'll give it start. October events, National Night Out, happening now until 9 p.m. at Bill Breeze Park. Enjoy food, trucks, a rock wall, obstacle course, face painting, a DJ, raffle, and more. Halloween Howl Night, Friday, October the 24th, from 6 p.m. through 9 p.m. at Bill Breeze Park, featuring trunk or treat, spooky maze, costume parade, food trucks, games, and rides. There will also be a mini escape room challenge. Registration is required. November events, Ocoee Remembers Memorial Wall Ceremony, Saturday, November the 1st, from 4:30 p.m., through 5:30 p.m. at Unity Park. The ceremony is open to the public. Visitors and residents alike are invited to honor and reflect on the lives lost during the tragic events of the 1920 Election Day Massacre. All right. Commissioner Kennedy.
No further comment.
Commissioner Wilson.
No comments.
Commissioner Firstner.
No comment.
Commissioner Oliver.
We had a great town hall meeting on September 18th, and for those of you that was not able to join us, we had a lot of information regarding the city, the different departments, and the things that they offer here in the city, the residents that they may or may not know about. I have actually republished the town hall meeting via video. If you want information regarding that, you can go to my website. You can actually send information to me via email, and I can send it over to you. That's goliver@ocoee.org. That's my email address, and I can get that information over to you as well. I don't know if I can put it on the city site or not, but I did send out quite a few newsletters that information is on. So a lot of great information was passed out during the town hall meeting. Also, I had an opportunity to attend the car show on Saturday. So if you've ever been to any of the Ocoee car shows, it was a sight to be seen. It was a sight to behold. And we got rained out, but it was some awesome cars there. So if you get a chance to do that next year, please try to attend that. It was great. And finally, I have this for you. All right. Accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. That's all I got.
Thank you, Commissioner. I have on my comments, I've got a citizen that lives in, up on the north side in town. He sent me an email. I'm going to read it off. Hey, Rusty, how's it going? This is Rusty Morgan. How are you doing today? Hope you're doing well. Remember, we spoke about Angel Tree Foundation, about possibly putting in a tree somewhere up around in the city, down maybe by City Hall, and we can bring some tags for people to come by, pick up the tag and buy the gift, and then bringing it back, and then I'll come by the week before Christmas and pick up all the presents up. We spoke about this at the barbecue place here in Ocoee. So what he's wanting to do is put a charity tree, Christmas tree somewhere around here. Then they put tags on it and you can come by and get the tag and then you can give a gift but he's in the, big time into adoption and stuff like that. So I don't know, what do commissioners think?
Do we know what program it's supporting?
I just said, Angel Tree Foundation.
Angel, as far as I understand, Angel Tree Foundation supports kids that may be kind of disenfranchised when coming out Christmas time. They don't receive Christmas presents, but they provide a list of the things that they would like to have, and then different organizations, churches and nonprofit organizations will go out and they shop or they donate, and they actually will take these gifts to the kids. Sometimes actually on Christmas Day.
Yep. So if we can work it out with the city staff to figure out where to put it up here. Is that okay with the rest?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Commissioner?
I'm not sure. I mean, that sounds okay if staff can make it work. I don't want to set a precedent where people are bringing private things into City Hall to raise money for whatever they have.
I didn't say bring it into City Hall, I mean out front, not inside. Yeah,
City property.
yeah.
I don't, so can y'all, if they can separate that somehow or protect us from unintended consequences, I'm okay with it.
So I guess we've got
I never thought about that.
4 votes, 4.
Where would they, I think maybe would it satisfy?
I'm gonna let staff, we'll let staff figure out what the
I just worry
requires.
about somebody saying, hey, I have the right to put whatever out there that we may not like.
Well, they don't unless they come ask for it. If you ask for it, then we can approve it. If we don't approve it, they'll move it. Right?
Mayor, if you could put us in touch with the gentleman?
I will. I just said that.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I just said that. No, if somebody comes up here and puts something out here, like we used to have somebody do those dumpster things where you, not dumpsters, but closed boxes, they put them around everywhere. We had to stop that. We didn't do it. We didn't approve. But if we approve something, then they're there. If we don't approve it, then they're gonna be moved. That's how it works. So we'll let staff work on it and see. I'll tell him. He lives up, I think he lives in Forest Brook, I believe. I think that's where he's at. Okay, all right. That's pretty much, let's all go over to the night out for the police thing over here. Thank you very much.